Good evening. Good evening, everyone. My name is Dennis Ripley. I'm the Chief Business Development Officer for Opportunity. And for the last 21 years, I've had the privilege of inviting global corporations and foundations and governments to join with Opportunity in our work on behalf of the poor and developing countries. And one of our most enduring partnerships is Caterpillar. For 20 years, Caterpillar has entrusted Opportunity with significant resources to bring the benefits of economic development to the poorest countries and regions of the world. Two recent commitments from the Caterpillar Foundation will help provide financial services and products to almost 17 million people through 2017. One of the commitments is focused on growth in Africa. They provided us with a 3-year, $10 million grant to provide financial products and services and training and support to our entrepreneurs in all of the 9 countries in Africa in which we work in sub-Saharan Africa. The second commitment is a 3-year, $9.2 million investment. This will help us do a couple things. We need to develop new business strategies for our work in Indonesia and in Brazil. And we want to grow significantly our outreach in the Philippines, in India, and in China. When combined, these 2 grants, these 2 investments from the Caterpillar Foundation, the second largest commitment Opportunity has received since our founding in 1971. We're really grateful for that. So I'd like us to take a look at a video now that portrays the impact of this partnership.
Imagine a place in the world. This world. Your world. Now picture a person who lives in this place. Let's say she's a woman, a mother, a wife, a leader. But she's more. She's an entrepreneur, an idea maker. Ideas that could give her the resources she needs to be all those things. To bring her ideas to life, she needs 2 things: opportunity and a way to create a sustainable cycle of success. A special partnership was formed 20 years ago that helps her achieve both. Opportunity International provides financial services to empower people to work their way out of poverty, strengthen their families, and improve their communities. The Caterpillar Foundation strongly supports those efforts, making sustainable progress possible.
The Caterpillar Foundation started our partnership with Opportunity International in 1994, and we invest with them all over the world, and we're very proud of the work they've done, and we're looking forward to the future.
This partnership gives her a chance to write a new story. First, she's a farmer. She grows food to feed and support her family. Second, she can afford to send her kids to school. Third, she has the technology to make her ideas grow. Fourth, she's a leader who creates jobs and strengthens her community. The story doesn't end there, though. Nearly 2.5 billion people worldwide are living on less than $2 a day. 70% are women. $150 empowers 1 woman. Over 20 years, Caterpillar has invested nearly $30 million in this partnership, impacting more than 18 million lives. You can make an impact too.
I saw the power of my donation affect farmers and artisans who now had really amazing livelihoods. It felt overwhelming that one small contribution could have such an exponential effect.
Your support changes lives, helps the story continue. The question now is, what will the rest of her story be?
If you're looking to invest in an organization that has proven results of moving the needle on poverty around the world, then Opportunity International is the organization that can do that. And to see the impact is just marvelous.
Imagine you can help her break out of poverty and create a sustainable cycle of success. Imagine you are the key that unlocks opportunity all over the world.
Thank you, Michele, and the Caterpillar Foundation for this wonderful and amazing partnership. So in the next few minutes, we're going to explore the unique and enduring chemistry of this partnership from both perspectives. I have the honor tonight to be joined in conversation by our CEO, Vicki Escarra, and by the president of the Caterpillar Foundation, Michele Sullivan. Let's give them a warm welcome.
Vicki.
Well, Caterpillar started in 1925, and it grew to become the world's largest manufacturer of construction and mining equipment, diesel and natural gas engines, and industrial gas turbines. This is the Caterpillar that everybody knows. Michele, why don't you tell us about the Caterpillar Foundation, its purpose and its values?
Sure, thank you. First, I'd like to give a shout out to Charlie and JR from Frequency 540. They made that video, and I thought it turned out fantastic, so thank you. Yeah. We never do anything alone. You need partners like all of you and Frequency 540 to help us. So the foundation was founded in 1952. I am the fourth leader since then. It doesn't change over very often. It's viewed as the best job at Caterpillar, so yeah. I happen to agree with that. I also have Jennifer here at the front table here who runs my day-to-day foundation, so she's my backbone for sure, so thank you, Jennifer. Good. And of course, my mom is here. My mom travels with me for the foundation, and she does have the best job because she just travels with me. So we have gone through a transformation through our years, and a few years ago, roughly 4 years ago, we really narrowed the foundation down to 3 components: basic human needs, which we classified as food, water, and shelter, access to education, and the environment. And about 2 weeks ago, I presented a new strategy to our board that took it a step further, and you might say deeper. And so we're moving from corporate social responsibility to corporate social innovation. With events like this, and like our last week at the Social Good Summit, where we're really using innovation to help tell our story and make our investments. The other change we're making is we're going deeper into giving opportunity to girls and women. As we looked at our investments over the past years, it was very clear, just like the research and the other guests today talked about, you get the best ROI from investing in girls and women around the world. And so it fits right smack in with opportunity in many ways, and so that's the focus of the foundation, all within. It's really about giving economic opportunity. If you look at basic human needs and education, that all leads to opportunity, and it opens the door. And then the environment, a lot of people say, well, where does the environment fit into this? Well, there's several components of the environment, whether you're taking wetlands back to the way they were, but if you look at rivers, et cetera, when you have a healthy river, it also leads to opportunity with the fishermen, water, it feeds the people, it gives them jobs. So the environment is a big piece also of opportunity. So that's a little bit about the foundation.
Good, thanks. Let me ask a follow-up question then. So why does the Caterpillar Foundation choose to partner with opportunity? How do we meet your criteria?
Very simply, we at Caterpillar are relationship-based with our business. We hold deeply our relationships with our customers for years and generations. We also live by 4 values: integrity, commitment, excellence, and teamwork. It's embedded into all of us. And if you look at those 4 values, it fits very nicely into opportunity. It's like we're from the same mold. When you look at the integrity, the commitment you've made, the excellence you provide in your return, and then look at your team members around you. It fits, you know, right into our mold as well. And so also, with 93% of your clients being women, again, right into that. Also, your outcomes. We are very outcome-based. I run the foundation like the business. I look at return on investment. And when you look at how many people are being helped, granted, we give you the money, but you do all the work. You give the return on investment in terms of giving access to opportunity to all these people who were born without it. So, and then the technology. We want to be on the bleeding edge of our investments. It feeds right into our transition into corporate social innovation. Yeah. We want to invest in that. We want to be innovative in our investments. So really, I think the question is, why not?
Perfect. Thank you. So Vicki, let me ask you a question. This is
You
your
expect me to follow that?
I do. Yeah.
Good luck here, Escarra.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah. Okay. This is your first year as CEO, and you knew that.
Thank you, Dennis.
And so you have the advantage of a fresh perspective then. So what have you seen that makes the Caterpillar Foundation an opportunity, a great partnership?
So it's been a great first year, as I mentioned earlier today, and I've loved it. It's been the fastest year of my life. I was speaking just before coming up here. I don't know if that's because I'm getting older or it's because I'm running around with John Campuchier. Don't know, but what makes this relationship so unique and so great? First, let me just frame the fact that having been involved in many corporate partnerships, actually, you know, over the course of my time in the nonprofit space, really about 100. And so the best in class nonprofits look at what is the strategy of the corporations that they want to partner with. And you want to match up what the strategic strategy is of the organization along with what the values are of the organization. Because great nonprofits, the job that we are to do is to raise the profile and the brand of the organizations that we work with. That's our job, is to do our work well, to deliver excellence, and a part of delivering excellence is to actually lift the brand and the presence of the organizations that we partner with. When I look at Caterpillar, the thing that's so unique and so unusual about this relationship is that our strategies, as Michele mentioned in her remarks, actually fit perfectly. I mean, all the work that they were doing around poverty, around women, around trying to create a way out with water, with education, with agriculture, with food, all of the pillars of their strategy fit beautifully with the work we were doing. And then when you overlay the portfolio of where they are with where we are, it was a perfect match. And then, as she said, and said it well, you know, our values, the way we treat each other, the way we operate with the highest integrity, coupled with, I'm going to say, innovation, because I think we're both very innovative organizations, made it a great fit. The last thing I will say is every organization at the end of the day is about leadership and teamwork. And so the grants that we just heard mentioned around the work that will be done across Africa and then across Asia, the second largest of our history, would not have taken place even if we had everything matched up without great leadership. Yeah. And so it takes a champion in every organization, especially corporations, and I certainly know this having spent 30 years of my life in a corporation. They don't happen without champions. And so we're fortunate to have a real champion and a real leader in Michele. Good. So there you go.
Good, great, thank you. So this is a question for both of you, and I'll let you go first, Michele. I know that you guys recently took a trip together to Uganda to visit our work. I've heard a lot about it from Vicki. You're not
can't
showing
talk about all of
slides,
it
are
tonight,
you?
though, right?
Are you going to show slides? No, okay, okay. Well, you're not going to do that. But I do want to hear about it from your perspective. What did you see, and what was the impact of that experience for you? So Michele, why don't you go first?
Sure. You know, when I first said I'd go to Africa, I was a bit worried because when you look at the press and all the images that you see, I have a tendency to really they always stay with me, and it just always bothers you. And I was kind of afraid of what I would see, knowing that, you know, what else could we be doing? And I've always known that I'm lucky to be born in the country that I am and to the family that I was. So we get going on our trip, and Vicki graciously arranged her schedule so she could go as well. And one of the stipulations was I really wanted to go deep into the areas to see the actual clients and talk to them firsthand. I wanted to know what was working, what did they like about it, you know, any improvements, etc. And what I saw was they absolutely have the same aspirations that we have. And as I traveled around around the world in my career, it's very clear to me it doesn't matter where you're born, where you live. People always have aspirations, no matter what you have or don't have. What I liked about the trip, it really became clear to me, it wasn't just about giving a loan. I went and visited where they were giving financial literacy training on a farm out in the middle of really nowhere, and all these people were around, and they were teaching them about savings account, the benefits of insurance that kind of levels out in case, you know, a catastrophe happens with their income, especially for those who are most vulnerable to fluctuations in their income. And also I visited a group of young people with the program, I think it's for ages 18 to 30, where they kind of mentor them for 4 months. And they come in and with a business plan and teach them presentation skills, how to run a business, how's their marketing plan, etc. And it was interesting because there's a young man there, and he had ducks. He raised ducks. And he was talking to his mentor about wanting to export the ducks for food. And the mentor said, tell me a little bit more about why you want to export them. And he said, well, I'll get more money, you know, putting them on a ship and send them off to another country. He goes, well, how much will you make? And he told him, and he goes, well, I was just in Kampala 2 weeks ago at 3 restaurants who they do not get enough ducks for their demands. And they're willing to pay X amount, which was greater than him exporting them. And you could see, he's like, really? I mean, the guy like had to calm him down because it was just, the light bulb went on. And that was really powerful because they're treating the whole person, the whole fulcrum of the opportunity from start to finish. And the beauty of it is they will teach their children. And then you start to move the needle on poverty. And so it really became clear to me from the trip of everything I saw. The loan was really the minor part. It was everything else that comes with the education that you provide that I think is really the powerful piece and is what starts to move the needle for me. And I love the people. I met with some of the loan officers. I still talk to Teddy and know about her baby and how she's doing. And also to see the technology. We're in the middle of nowhere. There's no water, really no electricity, yet they all had cell phones. It was really funny. And it was fun. I would take a picture on mine. Theirs can't take a picture, but then I would show them the picture on my phone, and you know, they just got all excited. But I actually applied for a loan on the phone with the technology. And I'm an IT geek, I fully admit it. So I was really intrigued with that as well, how advanced the technology is, which I think is key because they don't have to go through all the steps we go through in our country. Just go straight to it. Even go farther if you can, which you have. So it just brought it all together for me on why the model works so well.
Thank you. Yeah. And Vicki,
A little bit about my part
about
of
your
the
trip. Yeah.
So, excuse me. I remember meeting Michele.
She's getting choked up.
I'm getting all choked up. You had to say that, didn't you?
She's thinking of all the memories with the canoe. We took
I am going to talk about the canoe. You didn't, but I'm going to. I remember meeting Michele at the summit last year. I'd only been on the job about I don't know, maybe 5 weeks. Some of you were there and remember the time together as well. And we had dinner the last night together and talked about taking this trip to Uganda, and really lived up to our commitment, which ended up being, let me just say, transformative, and I'll come back to that in a moment. Not only being with Michele, but also being with Shar and being with John Magnay and some of the other folks that were with us. But a bit about what really occurred from my perspective with our time together. The first thing we did, which goes back to earlier discussion in the day, is that we met with Andre, who's the CEO of the bank, and with Colin. And they walked us through exactly all of the metrics around how the bank was doing and how they were doing. And that was the first thing we did together. And I remember being very proud of the fact that we've got such bright and wonderfully educated people that are running our organization that really care about clients. And I was proud to have a partner like Michele and like the Caterpillar Foundation really here. We don't just talk about our business, we actually measure it, and we measure our performance against how we're doing. And then the second thing that was really impactful to me was with Susie. Because there was a question that came up today in the breakout with Dennis and Dennis around the opportunity model with group lending. And the question came up, you know, are the group leaders really tough on the people that come in and out of the group? Well, you and I both know all the questions Susie asked that young woman who had a couple of children and was not married. I mean, she scared me, and she certainly scared this kid. And I mean that to make you all laugh, but Susie was a force to be reckoned with.
She ruled the roost.
She ruled the roost.
Nervous.
So she had this group that had been in existence for 30 years. And she'd been the leader. And I just loved the fact that she led this group with such passion and commitment and real focus around delivering against repaying the loan for the group. I could go on. There are other key memories that we had at the school. Help me remember the school proprietor's name.
Thomas.
Thomas, thank you. You know, he was talking about the fact that he had studied to be a priest, but that God had called him to be a school proprietor. And I was so, we asked what were these buildings off to the side. And he said, those are the buildings that we build for the orphans. And Michele and I looked at each other, and he said 20% of the children that come to this school are orphans. And I said, you know, Thomas, how do you make ends meet? And he said, we find a way. We take care of all of our children. And the final thing he said that I will never forget is he said, and you know, I stay here 12 months out of the year because these children don't have parents, and they don't have anyone to celebrate the holidays with.
Or their birthday.
Or their birthdays. And I am their parent. And I just loved that part of the work that we do. And so for me, you know, we had a great time. So all of you who have been on inside trips know you develop friendships and relationships that you will never forget for the rest of your life. And there were some scary moments, right, Bonnie? Of going up and down the steps and being on the Nile, which is the beginning of all creation, in a canoe with Michele with it tipping like this, and Shar actually yelling at John Magnay. Only teasing, but I would simply wrap it up by saying, you know, there was real transformation, not only in the work we saw, but in our relationships that will be with me forever. So,
Great, thank
yeah.
you, thank you. So we've been partnering with Caterpillar now for 20 years, Vicki, and as you look forward, how do you see this partnership evolving?
So, you know, we talked about 20 million jobs by 2020, and we talked about this morning how it will take a number of things to get there. It certainly will take more capital, more equity. It also will take being more efficient and effective, using technology to help us do our work better. And it will take relationships like all the ones we have in the audience, as well as building on really strong relationships that we have with our corporate partners that are innovative, strategic, and are taking dentists a global view of the world. So they're not just concerned about quarterly earnings, which all corporations have to be, that's their business, and we know that. But they're also concerned about making our world a better place. And so, you know, I think there's only upside as we look at our relationship with Caterpillar. I think we have a very, very strong base when we look at 20 years. Those are longer than most relationships last, certainly in the nonprofit world and certainly in the corporate world. But as they continue to grow and prosper, which I'm sure they will, and as we continue to grow and serve more people around the world, I see only upside.
Good,
Yeah,
good,
thank you.
Thank you. Michele, it's really obvious to opportunity and to our clients about the value of this partnership. We have no question about how valuable it is, but we'd like to hear your perspective on this question of value.
Value to us is all about the client. That's the bottom line. Who can give the best opportunity to a client? And opportunity does that. And so earlier when you talked about giving a person access to opportunity with dignity, it's all about that. And you want them to prosper. And the beauty of this is with 93% of the loans going to women, they're 3 times more likely than men to take those benefits and give it to their children.
Yeah.
So it's generational, the impact.
Yeah.
And just like in business, that's what you look for. Where do you exponentially make a bigger impact? And that's by giving it to the next generation. And so when you look at value, you're not only adding value to this generation, you're seeding the next. And to us, that's the bottom line. That's the whole value.
Good. Thank you so much. Yeah. So Michele, on behalf of all of us at Opportunity, we're grateful to the Caterpillar Foundation for its exceptional example of corporate responsibility, leadership, and sustainability. Thank you for spending it this evening with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you know what? We need the podium back up. Wonderful. Yes, wonderful.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you. Thank you.
Love this.
Tell Jennifer to come up.
Wow, beautiful. All right, so we have a little presentation.
Oh, we gotta have Jennifer up here too.
Jennifer, will you join us?
Yep, we don't do this alone.
We don't do this alone. I thought you were just going to jump right up on the
Yeah,
stage.
I
I was really going to be impressed.
I didn't do it 'cause I
Didn't you think she was going to do? I thought she'd
Yeah.
just jump up.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jennifer and Michele. Few organizations have been more effective than the Caterpillar Foundation in transforming lives. Your support ensures that critical funds are available to Opportunity to continue fulfilling its mission of a better world. Those in our country, such as the Caterpillar Foundation, who give of their talent, time, and treasure to help others, represent the true spirit of what's great about America. You keep hope for a better world alive in all of us. And you're all about communities, which we are too, and we love you and thank you for that. On a personal note, Michele, I want you to know your friendship and your example of being ever positive in every situation I've ever seen you in is a really just such an example of being courageous and just being a great role model for the world. And I really appreciate you, and you've inspired me around my role as a leader. So on behalf of the 17,000 Opportunity International employees around the world, I'm proud to present the Caterpillar Foundation with this award for its commitment to Opportunity International. The Caterpillar Foundation's dedication has made life better for so many people around the world, and together we help ensure that every person has a chance for a better future and that every family can live with dignity and hope. So, congratulations to both of you. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vicki. I love you.
Love you too. Love you. Love you.
Yeah. And I want to tell you that on behalf of the 125,000 Caterpillar employees and the 150,000 dealers employees around the world, we do thank you for the work. You're helping us build sustainable communities, which is why we do this. It's all about making the community sustainable everywhere in the world. So on behalf of the 300,000, thank you.